It pisses me off when people don't actually understand my video. Let me try to be as concise as I can in regards to this. I'm going to borrow from the words of the former president of Nigeria, President Goodluck Jonathan. He said that it's easy to wake a man that is sleeping, but it's very hard or almost impossible for you to wake a man that is pretending to sleep. So I want to bring this to your notice. What is happening in Nigeria at the moment, and to be more specific, in northern Nigeria, do you think it should be likened to a man that is sleeping or a man that is pretending to be sleeping? A question. But well, in my own opinion, it can be likened to a man that is pretending to be sleeping. And what are my reasons? I want you to watch this so that you will see my reasons.
This Boko Haram issue started since 2012, yeah. And I was in the military intelligence that time. The intention of it's on the internet, so it's not even about the people we interrogated. The intention is to Islamize Nigeria and practice Sharia, and it doesn't matter if some people die, it doesn't matter if you're embarrassed, it doesn't matter if our economy has degenerated. Look at the interest rate, look at the inflation rate, look at the debt profile of Nigeria. They don't care. So I'm not coming to the air to whip up sentiments, no. I have been in the system. I work with Abacha government, I work with Babangida government, I work with Abdul Salam, I work with Yar'Adua Obasanjo as a core insider of corporations. And there are some hardliners in this government that are sponsoring this kind of narratives. They just want to show that they can Islamize this country. They think about Taliban, they think about the Mujahideens, and they want to replicate it in this country. And they don't care what happened. They simply don't care, as long as at the end of the day, there's Sharia, and there is whatever thing they have in their head, and they want to achieve. You remember?
So practically speaking, do you think that concept have changed as far as the North is concerned at the moment? What the media have succeeded in doing is giving them a different name, a redefined name. Bandits, cattle rustlers, kidnappers. That is what the media have succeeded in doing. And what do you need to ensure this? You must make sure they are uneducated, and even if they are educated, they must be fanatically inclined. When they are fanatically educated, it doesn't matter what you have read. Fanatism will override that. And that is the reality. That is just the fact. And if you think that the government is not aware, the government is fully aware. But the fact is, you can't rule out some elements of selfishness in the midst of all this and a lot of it. But the fact is, the government is aware, but to some certain extent, they will not come out and tell you things the way it is. But the fact is, they are expecting you to use your tongue to count your teeth. And that is why the DSS boss told you this.
I'll share experience with you when I was state director in Bauchi. Most of you will remember an incident in Azar. A group of terrorists, the Boko Haram then, had invaded Azar. They were shooting in an attempt to kidnap, and the community chased them. They killed some members of the community, but the community members killed all of them. The last guy, Khalid, climbed onto a tree and was fired. The community stood. They were resilient, and they killed Khalid. Since that day, there has not been one terrorist attack in Azar. As a matter of fact, the former head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, said, and I quote, "If we want to stop or curb this terrorism, we should emulate the Azari example." Tafawa Balewa also happened to be a local government in Bauchi that was always in flames. And the people of Bogoro and some part of Tafawa Balewa, where the Sayawas are, rose up on one occasion. They knew their terrain better, climbed onto trees and mountains when the invaders came. They did not only repel them, they seized their weapons. And since then, you can attest to it that you hardly hear about Tafawa Balewa again. What I'm trying to say, the practical approach to mobilizing people is that you have to get everyone involved. You do not expect the Nigerian Army, police, DSS to protect every Nigerian or every community. It is not going to work. In the US, if you visit someone in the house, you will be shocked that when the guy hears a police siren, he will just pull his drawer, bring out his gun and keep it. So one of my hosts did that, and I asked him, "Why are you putting gun here?" He said, "Well, if they are chasing someone and he enters my house, I'll shoot him first." And that is the layer we have to start thinking about. How?
So what am I trying to say? In regards security, it's up to you, it's up to a community to actually phantom a way of dealing with that. while you wait for the federal government. But what do you have in Nigeria? I've seen communities where even to contribute 500 naira levy for security, to pay their own local security, is a problem. You are still waiting on the government. You are still waiting on the government to solve all your problems. You have a lot of jobless youths that are in that community that are looking for a job. But the fact is, when it comes to protecting your community, you prefer them to do a free job. And that is why you have a lot of millionaires, a lot of billionaires in a community. But you get to see that they are being ravaged by this insecurity, and all they do is come to newspaper and push the blame game. So it's up to anybody that is listening to this. The problem of the North is like the fight of Armageddon. So don't wait for the fight of Armageddon to happen. Why do I say the fight of Armageddon? Because last, when everything's set, you will get to see this fight I'm talking about that is going to come from the North. Because it's going to be a fight between the minority tribes that see things differently and objective people, and a fight against people that still conceive this same ideology of domination in the name of fanatical beliefs. That is what I'm saying. Do you get my message? My message is not just to the North, but to empower who needs to be empowered to protect his terrain without waiting on the government, just like the DSS boss have told you as well. If I must tell you the fact, the ones I pity most in the midst of all this are the Easterners. Though despite the fact that I pity you, I don't pity you entirely. Because I believe the power lies within you. The power lies within you. And the fact is, I want to bring this to your notice. In as much as there's marginalization, you complain of marginalization, but marginalization cannot be proven on paper. Because there's nothing that can be proven on paper. Because the way you are complaining about marginalization is the same way even the minority in the Northerners are actually marginalized, but they cannot speak. But why I say I can't pity you is the fact that you have the power. You are productive. You have the means. You are very productive. You have a lot of millionaires and billionaires within you. What is your investment in terms of security? A lot of atrocities happen and your billionaires and your millionaires cannot even come out and speak. They cannot come out and speak. And what is their investment in terms of security? So little. Are you waiting on the federal government to do that for you? You are joking. You have all the power. First of all, industrialize, number one. Secondly, invest heavily in security. Invest heavily in security. I don't actually understand why you think that the presidency is what will bring about total change for you people. You have no excuse.